Hey guys, this is just a spoiler warning, so if you haven't finished the Winds of Change fully and in hard mode, then you're going to have some spoilers here, so if you don't want to watch, then don't. Right, on with the video. So, Wooden Potatoes and I decided that we were going to blast through the Winds of Change in hard mode, because I've been getting comments for the longest time that, oh, your guides are rubbish and this, that and the other. What about hard mode? Well, I've done it in hard mode, and here's the proof. This is us going to be doing the Final Confrontation with Minister Reiko. It's pretty interesting. The Winds of Change, I don't know. It was interesting, and at the same time it was sort of all the same sort of stuff. So, here we are, we're loading into the explorable area, and I should probably speed this up because there's a lot of nonsense talking to go through. But, what advice should I give? I don't know. She summons a lot of things. Here we see her skill using, she's using Grand Illusion, which basically, for this whole fight, just ignore a health bar, because it's not going to go down. And instead, focus on just beating stuff up. So, eventually you'll kill enough stuff, or you'll do enough damage that the Grand Illusion bar is going to go down, and you'll win the fight. So yeah, this is pretty much just, hey, it's a Guild Wars 2 Mesmer preview, I guess. Sort of cloning herself, using phantasms and things, and going, hey, look, this is how it might work in Guild Wars 2. I'm not impressed, not really, because it's Guild Wars 1 still, and it's nowhere near the same. Yeah, for the builds, we just pretty much I'm running a Dragon Slash build here. I've got Azure and Scan on there for all the blind that I keep getting and all the blocking that keeps happening. I think she clones part of your team as well, so occasionally you might see copies of my character running around, copies of Wooden Potatoes' character running around. And these copies of your guys actually use your skill bars against you. So, we had Flail using Ineptitude, which, right at the start of the fight, I get it just copied and backfired straight onto me immediately, which is good fun. There is a real target to kill here, so if you notice you have Miku in your party, just double click on Miku, you'll run right up to her, and then you'll be able to see exactly what she's focusing on, and that will be the real Minister Reiko. He also gets a bunch of allies coming in on this. So here we've got Saw Honor Claw from the Airy. I hope I'm saying that right. So he brings a bunch of Tengu into the fight and helps you out. At the same time, you're going to have enemy factions appearing in the fight as well. So you're going to have Ampha appearing, maybe some Jade Brotherhood. I know you definitely get some Ministry guys appearing every now and then. My advice is to clear these out when you see them, so... No, I thought I was going to attack them there, but no, that's just a couple of copies of Reiko. Now here this Airy Heart of Fire person comes in. In normal mode, we actually decided that we were just going to kill her, because you get the choice if you want to kill her or not. I bet most of you guys who aren't paying attention didn't know that you could kill her. Well, you can, and if you do kill her, she doesn't appear in this fight. But obviously she's helpful, so don't kill her. So yeah, glad we didn't do that in hard mode. Oh, to be honest, this fight isn't very difficult, so yeah, just keep beating on stuff and use whatever builds you want. Some of the harder fights are easily... Oh geez, tracking the corruption in hard mode was really difficult. I think we got lucky there. I advise Earthshaker and loads of control builds, but also like focus on damage as much as possible. And... what are the other quests? Minister Chosen hard mode, that was difficult, but just slog through it. Remember that you can res up and carry on going. Yeah, just keep at that, and you'll get it. Some of the Part 3 quests were actually quite hard. Part 1 was really, really easy on its own, apart from Minister Chose and tracking the corruption. Part 2, I don't even remember, because that was so easy. yeah, that was incredibly easy. Part 2, just do whatever you want, you know, play with your builds. And here's Zayri, and it's interrupting me. If you're not in hard mode, you're not going to see Zayri, so this is an addition. Which I should mention, by the way, if you're playing through this in hard mode, it's not only more of a challenge, but you also get extra bits of story, like Zayri popping in right now, and you get extra rewards. There's an attack on Kaineng Center in part 3, and if you do that in normal mode, you get, I think you get 1 or 2 of the I can't remember what they're called, the requisition orders, the gold requisition orders that you can trade in for the rewards at the end. If you do it in hard mode, you get 6 of these things, which is crazy. But the quest is much, much, much harder. And yeah, you get extra bits of story when you're being attacked in Xingjie. You get, in hard mode, you get to see Sin. I won't say what happens, because that's actually fairly interesting. Well, is it? I don't know. Is it fairly interesting? It's only a tiny little spoiler, but story. I'll let Wooden Potatoes go through with that when he let's plays it eventually. So yeah, you can see we've defeated that Minister Reiko pretty easily. And I'm just showing you all the allies here. I don't know why. Probably just waiting for these people to shut up. There's a lot of story here. I'm not convinced the writing was fantastic in this. The amount of times that I saw the words, oh no, I forget, so the streets of Kaineng will run red with blood. Oh god, it's like Grenth has gone too far this year. Just repeated far too many times. It made it a little bit ridiculous. So yeah, I recommend doing this in normal mode at least, and if you find normal mode really easy, because it is now, I figure they've actually nerfed a lot of the stuff in normal mode, and it does feel a hell of a lot easier, then go with hard mode, and give yourself a challenge, and try it at least. And if it's too hard, then so what? You're not going to miss out too much. This quest's about to end, and I'm about to accept my rewards. There we go. Congratulations, your party was victorious. Good. So we're going to map back to Tahnnakai Temple, and I think this is post-commentary if you hadn't noticed. Woohoo! Yeah, I would have done this live with Wooden Potatoes, but we were knackered. This had taken us about 7 hours to do part 3. I think the longest part of that was easily the attack on Xingjie. That took us about 6 or 7 tries. That's what I was going to say. If you're going to play with builds and things, go with obvious stuff. Like, try obvious stuff first, and then just tweak tiny little bits. And then if you find that isn't working at all, make radical changes. If the radical changes haven't worked, haven't got you anywhere, then you're stuck, pretty much. Don't be afraid to use consumables. We didn't, but that's me bragging. And yeah, if radical changes don't help you, then I don't know. I've no real advice. But, you know, eventually, after a few goes, you will figure out what works and what doesn't. I figured out that Earthshaker was particularly good in any of the big mob attacks, and things like Dragon Slash would be good against smaller groups and in the 4-man areas. Oh, by the way, I'm talking to some NPCs here. Airy Heart of Fire and Initiate Zayri, who I'm about to talk to, don't appear if you're in the if you've done the normal mode versions of this. So here in hard mode, the reward you can see, 20,000 experience, and you get 2 Imperial Dragon Steer, which is, it's the Winds of Change equivalent of, say, a Droknar's Key at the end of Eye of the North. So you get 2 of them for hard mode, you get 1 in normal mode. And don't forget, in hard mode you need to do every single quest up to this point in hard mode, so you have to beat normal mode first, and then you can do hard mode. Oh god, there's a lot to do, to be honest. It's quite a big content update for what it was. I enjoyed it, it was worth it, and you also, surprise, you get a hero. You get a bragging rights hero for beating this in hard mode. If you beat it in normal mode, you get Zenmai. You don't get Zenmai. You get what's her face? Miku. Jesus. As if I couldn't remember that. That's pretty terrible of me. Man. So here, make an excellent jump cut. You get to see Zayri there in all his glory. He's taking his helmet off. And Miku, of course. They both come with green weapons, which is interesting. Obviously, I'm not going to use Miku. She's an assassin. She's got these green daggers called Gesoku. not even going to try that again. And you get Zayri, which has Zanhai's resolve. And his helmet's called Unity of Purpose, but he doesn't wear it. So if you didn't want to buy the costume, then you've got this hero and you can look at his costume instead. Hey, saving money. So I'm all about the saving money here, quids in and all that. Brilliant. I think I'm about to do something stupid here. Yeah, I wondered if everything changed if I changed the language to Bork, Bork, Bork. And it turns out it does. So you get all sorts of ridiculous things. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this on YouTube, but Zen has a resolver, a unity of a purposer. You know, I'm not going to repeat all this stuff. I'm not a funny guy. So, that's it. That's Winds of Change beaten. Don't know how this is going to advance, and hopefully we get some interesting stuff out of your rewards, if you know what I mean. Thanks for watching.